This Father's Day, give Dad something he'll wear with pride. From custom shirts and sport coats to premium casual wear and those famous Smitty ties, you'll find the perfect gift at Lionel Smith Limited. Limited to only the finest in men's clothing.
You can't always choose the weather, but you can choose your weather app. Go with the most accurate and most trusted, the Live Viper 6 mobile app. Download it today. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Welcome back. We had some heavy rain move through the metro this morning, but now most of the CSRA is dry. Just some very spotty activity. Jefferson County up towards Glasscock County, you're now seeing some rain, and then we have one little tiny shower right over the town of Aiken and another right over the town of Thompson. So let's take a look at that now on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview network. You can see the rain coming down in Aiken, some birds flying around there in Thompson as well. So rain is definitely moving into some parts of the CSRA, but overall a mix of sun and clouds today. Temperature still a little bit cooler than normal. We're sitting at 86 degrees, feeling like 93. It's muggy with dew points in the mid 70s. And around the CSRA, our temperatures are sitting in the low to mid 80s, 80 down in Millen, up to 87 in Evans. And let's get right to the tropics. I know that's what we're all concerned about. We have Tropical Storm Arthur, the first named storm of the 2026 season. It's far, far away from us, and even the convection with this storm isn't even impacting Texas yet. So even though the storm did make landfall in Matagorda County, Texas today, all of the activity is on the east side of the storm. It's very lopsided. Winds are at 45 miles per hour, so it's a weak storm. We have all this drier air and wind shear helping to keep it on the weaker side. And then, of course, as it moves into land, it will be weakening as well. So this is it when it comes to the track. It becomes a tropical depression by 2 a.m. tonight. And then after that, it's just remnants. So this is going to be an area of low pressure, and it's going to make for a pretty wet setup for us as we go into our Thursday and Friday. A lot of moisture moving in from this system. But for tomorrow, we're starting out dry, mostly cloudy, temperatures in the mid 70s at 7 a.m. and then we're getting into the upper 80s as we get into the afternoon with those showers and storms starting to fire up. So we have a marginal risk of severe weather across the entire CSRA tomorrow for damaging wind gusts, and we can't rule out some brief and weak tornadoes. And by that, we mean those typical spin-up tornadoes we get with any sort of area of low pressure. And they are usually not on the ground for very long and usually have only a EF0 or EF1 strength. Of course, that can still lead to some damage, so something to take seriously, but it's not a widespread severe weather threat, nothing too significant here. Tomorrow, it's just a marginal risk, or for Friday, it's just a marginal risk of severe weather from Waynesboro down towards the southern half of the CSRA. But here's our feature cast for tonight. You can see that area of low pressure moving inland. Not a lot of rain at first, but then notice this whole blob of rainfall, some storms in here across Alabama, leading to some significant flooding concerns, and some of that activity into western Georgia as well, up towards Atlanta and Macon. But by the time it gets to us, we're not seeing as significant of impact. So it's really down here in Albany over towards coastal Alabama where there's that higher chance of severe weather. But I am still expecting breezy conditions with a few strong to severe storms for tomorrow afternoon into the evening. Then we're going to be watching a cold front. So this is another rainmaker that'll bring showers and storms early on Friday morning. So here's our future cast. Tomorrow at noon, pop-up storms start to develop. And within these cells, that's where we'll watch for wind gusts up to around 60 miles per hour and those tornadoes. Now, as we go into the overnight, a lot of the rain starting to weaken, but still some heavier downpours possible here and there with those gusty conditions. And then there comes the round from the cold front, really just impacting our southern line counties where we have that marginal risk of severe weather. So let's talk about the winds on Thursday, gusting up to around 30 to 35 miles per hour. Can't rule out a wind gust up to around 40, but we are not talking wind gusts like we had with Hurricane Helene. I do not want you to panic over this. It's just going to be a little bit breezy, and we could have some flooding concerns, especially in some of our northwestern counties where we do have a flood watch in effect through Friday night. That's for Hancock and Washington, up to around 2 to 4 inches of rain possible. But for your Father's Day, we're back to around 90 degrees and only a 20% chance of rain and storms on Sunday. Next week, back to a typical summertime pattern, highs around 90 and a 30% chance of storms. We'll be right back.
Your morning handled. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. The Live Viper 6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 6, we'll hear from Augusta's mayor-elect after last night's runoff.
He talks about his plans when he takes office, as your News at 6 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 6.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brad Means.
And I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thanks so much for joining us. Less than 24 hours after Augusta's mayoral
Races here, including who's going to be the GOP nominee for governor. Remember, if you voted in the primary, you have to vote for the same party in the runoff.
It's time now for a first check of the weather.
And for that, tracking all the showers that are here or that are coming, let's check in with our chief meteorologist, Jenna Petracci.
Yeah, that's right. It's overall been a pretty unsettled forecast for us this week, meaning we've been dealing with on and off rain, some cloud cover, and luckily it is much cooler. So last week we had the heat wave. Now we have the rain, and this morning we actually had some pretty significant ponding on the roadways in parts of Aiken, Richmond, and Columbia counties with around an inch of rain over a short period of time. But right now things have definitely improved on Live Viper 6. We're just tracking a few isolated showers. One of those just moved through the town of Aiken. Another just moved through Thompson and is now along I-20. But most of us are dry. As for our almanac, we officially picked up 0.4 inches of rain at Augusta Busch Field, and we started out above average with a low of 72, then below average this afternoon, topping off at 87. We're at 86 now in Augusta, 85 in Aiken. Overall in the low to mid 80s across the board with breezy conditions out of the southwest. Sustained winds up to 10 to 15 miles per hour, wind gusts up to around 20 to 25. Now let's talk about the tropics. We had Tropical Storm Arthur form today, the first named storm of the 2026 season. Notice it's very lopsided with all of the convection on the east side of it. So no rain in Texas, just a little bit breezy, but definitely cloudy with scattered showers in Louisiana and parts of Texas. You can see that cloud cover now. This is Port Arthur, very fitting name considering we're talking about Tropical Storm Arthur. And that's our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam. So for tomorrow, we have a Viper 6 alert day in effect. Showers and storms likely starting in the afternoon. And I am expecting some rain and breezy conditions lasting into Friday morning as well. I'll have more details on that with your future cast coming up, but back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Jenna. The 16th annual Augusta Pride Festival is
Several people in Burke County are charged after a deadly shooting. Here's what we know. It happened Sunday morning on Highway 23. Investigators say 22-year-old Jordan Butler was found dead after being shot at least once, and then 16-year-old Joshua Gordy is charged with murder. Also out of this investigation, 21-year-old Chloe Lanier facing a battery charge, 18-year-old Kinsey Johnson accused of giving false statements, and 37-year-old Keisha Montero charged with giving alcohol to minors.
The city of Aiken could soon ask restaurant goers to pay a little more at the register. City leaders are considering increasing the hospitality tax to 2% on restaurant and prepared food purchases. The change is expected to bring in about $2.3 million a year. They say the money would help cover rising costs and support projects, including a downtown parking deck tied to the Hotel Aiken redevelopment.
If someone takes a family to lunch and spends $50, which in this day of inflation is possible, the 1% would add 50 cents to the cost of the meal. This is done in the spirit that the consensus of the community is we need to do something with the hotel.
The proposal gets its first reading at the June 22nd City Council meeting. A public hearing follows on Monday, July 27th.
Big improvements are about to happen in 3 local counties. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp and the State Road and Tollway Authority approving $26 million for 20 transportation projects. Like Twin City in Emmanuel County is one of them. $1 million to resurface a couple of dozen streets. State leaders say this money is going to help them get the work done faster because it will all be done at the same time.
So they're scattered all over town. There isn't one particular area. When we started the resurfacing project, we chose the roads that were in the worst shape and most heavily traveled. So we've already gotten those roads done. Now this is what's left over, the remaining roads in town that have not been resurfaced already.
2 other local communities will also benefit from the grants, like Millen. Millen's getting nearly $500,000 to extend a sidewalk along Old Waynesboro Road to Highway 23. And then Sandersville in Washington County is going to get $1.5 million to realign Franklin Haynes Boulevard to expand Kaolin Park. Still ahead, President Trump dealing with Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Tracci back with us now, trying to make up some ground on that rainfall deficit.
Yeah, that's right, Brad. And luckily, we do have some rain in the forecast, but it may be too much rain, as we do have a Viper 6 alert day for the possibility of flooding tomorrow and also the chance of some severe weather. I'll have your full Viper 6 forecast when we return.
For the dad who appreciates quality, style, and things built to last, celebrate this Father's Day with exceptional menswear, personalized service, and timeless gifts for every dad. Lionel Smith, limited to only the finest in men's clothing.
Ashley Stars and Stripes sale is going on now. Don't miss the
This Father's Day, give Dad something he'll wear with pride. From custom shirts and sport coats to premium casual wear and those famous Smitty ties, you'll find the perfect gift at Lionel Smith Limited. Limited to only the finest in men's clothing.
The CSRA's favorite news app is now even better with easier access to local news, weather, and live streaming video. Download the News Channel 6 mobile app. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Welcome back. It's mostly dry now, with just a couple isolated light showers across the CSRA. You can see that in Columbia County, parts of Aiken, but those are really even starting points in the 70s and a little bit breezy. Wind gusts out of the west-southwest up to around 20 miles per hour. Current temperatures ranging from the low 80s to mid 80s. And let's go right into Tropical Storm Arthur. This developed today, and it did make landfall in Matagorda County in Texas, but a very lopsided storm. All of the convection on the east side of it, and we have drier air and wind shear that is helping to tear this storm apart. So by tonight, it becomes a tropical depression moving inland to Texas, and then it will really just fade away from there and become a remnant low. But this is making for a complex setup for us in the CSRA Thursday and Friday. We have the remnants of Arthur that's merging with a frontal boundary, so a lot of tropical moisture coming in from the Gulf, and then of course that cold front leading to some showers and storms as well. Tomorrow morning we start out dry, mostly cloudy, 74 at 7 a.m., pushing into the upper 80s in the afternoon, and showers and storms will start to fire up then. We do have a marginal risk of severe weather for the entire CSRA for a damaging wind gust threat, and we can't rule out some brief and isolated tornadoes. We also have the possibility of damaging wind gusts from the cold front from around Waynesboro down to Swainsboro into our Friday afternoon. So here's our future cast tonight at 8 p.m. Area of low pressure moving inland, and then you can see this really just explodes here into widespread rainfall, heavy storms and wind, really impacting Alabama and parts of western Georgia. There's 2 o'clock for us tomorrow. Storms start to move in, and overnight we will have some rain and wind as well. And even though it looks like it will be ending at first, we have this cold front that will also bring in some showers and storms lasting up until around noon, maybe 2 p.m. for some of our southern line counties, and then the cold front clears the area Friday night, leading to a mostly dry weekend. Here's a closer look at home tomorrow at noon. Our western counties seeing those pop-up showers and storms. You can tell that within these cells, they do look pretty strong, indicating the wind gusts possibly up to 60 miles per hour. And once again, can't rule out a tornado, especially in some of our western counties. Overnight, still some heavy rain. We'll be watching for flooding concerns. It will be a little bit windy as well. And then here comes that second round from the cold front, with those storms really just impacting our southern line counties up until tomorrow afternoon. So 2 p.m. tomorrow, wind gusts up to around 25 miles per hour. Once we get into the evening, gusts up to around 30 to 35. Can't rule out up to around a 40 mile per hour wind gust, and that includes the overnight as well. So there's 4 a.m. on Friday. Still very windy with that rain, but things settle down around 8 a.m. on Friday. Highest rainfall totals will be in some of our northwestern counties. We could see up to around 2 to 4 inches. But notice rainfall totals not too bad for most of us, but some spots could definitely see some flooding concerns with that flood watch for Hancock and Washington counties through Friday night. So our 10-day forecast showing us go back to sunshine on Saturday, only a 20% chance of storms on Father's Day, and a typical summertime pattern as we go into next week. Now here's a look at our live. I am clicking all the wrong buttons here. Bear with me a second. We have our Live Viper 6 umbrella winner to announce, and that is Michelle Joyner from Millen, Georgia. Michelle, you can pick up your Viper 6 umbrella here at the station and sign up to win yours on WJBF.com, and we'll be right back.
If you have a crack like this,
Well, you have a problem. Today I'm learning how a cracked wall might mean your foundation is sinking.
It always points towards the area where it's sinking. For example, this corner here, we're down almost a full inch of drop.
Right, so that's going down and that's causing the crack.
Correct. And then this door, they don't even use that door anymore. It cannot open.
Mount Valley Foundation Services is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
At Great Deals on Furniture, Rick and May.
It's fun doing the impossible, and tonight we're making history.
The Banana Ball Championship League is off and running in epic style.
This is Banana Ball, baby, let's go!
The Banana Ball World Tour, Saturday, June 20th on CW6. Bring the fun of the Savannah Bananas home. Snag the ultimate fan combo, a cap and jersey. Enter to win at WJBF.com. Brought to you locally by Caps Insurance Agency, where coverage meets comfort.
You can't always choose the weather, but you can choose your weather app. Go with the most accurate and most trusted, the Live Viper 6 mobile app. Download it today. Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
Well, day 2 of the Von Taylor Championship was supposed to tee off early this morning, but instead, Mother Nature, she had some other plans. Now, due to some inclement weather, most of the golfers did not tee off until actually the late afternoon when the rain passed through the area. But as of now, Lakeside golfer Kip Madison, he is at 10 under par right now with just about a few holes left to go. And then, of course, weather permitting, tomorrow, the championship ceremony will be at 3 p.m. Well, the first round of the U.S. Open begins tomorrow with plenty of fans lining up to get Scottie Scheffler's autograph, as the world number 1 has the career Grand Slam in his reach. With a win on Sunday, the 2-time Masters winner would join golfers like Rory McIlroy, Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, Ben Hogan, and Gene Sarazen as the only ones to have such an accomplishment.
If I win this tournament, that would be amazing. But I think then I show up the next week and it's like, okay, now Scotty's won the Grand Slam. He's won all these golf tournaments. Now where do we go from here? And so no matter what, I think as a player and as a professional athlete, you're never going to live up to the expectations of people. And I think sometimes that's a little bit of the fallacy in our sport, is that like, oh man, if I win the U.S. Open, then I'm going to be satisfied. I'm going to be, I've won all the tournaments, then my career is essentially over and I've accomplished everything I could want to accomplish. But then I think the goalposts are always just moved further and further.
Now the first round tees off on Thursday with the final round on Sunday. Well, the Oma Dogs, they're still alive in the Men's College World Series as they're taking on the Oklahoma Sooners tonight at Charles Schwab Field. The Dogs survived and advanced last night with the gritty 2-0 win over Texas. And while Georgia's offense has been the storyline all season long, it's been Georgia's pitching that's taken center stage in Omaha. Through 3 games, the Dogs have punched out 33 batters, allowing just 5 runs. Now Georgia will have to beat Oklahoma not once, but twice to advance to the championship series, a position that head coach Wes Johnson has actually been in before when he was on LSU's coaching staff.
Do you draw on those experiences and, just tell the guys that, yeah, it's been done before. It's not an impossible task, but you're not gonna win 3 games or whatever by trying to do it in 1.
Well, first pitch tonight at 7 p.m. Of course, that if necessary game on Thursday. We'll see what they do, see if they can survive another day in Omaha.
Yeah. Gianna, thank you.
We'll be right back.
You are more than your car wreck.
Well, the folks from Guinness have declared a soccer ball in Boston to be the biggest in the world. It beats the old record by more than 10 feet, 38 feet tall. Boston, also one of the 16 host cities for the ongoing FIFA World Cup. Pretty impressive there.
Really is. And that's our report from everybody. Thank you so much for watching. News Channel 6 continues at 7 right after World News Tonight.
And then we'll see you again for News Channel 6 at 11. Have a nice evening.